What do you do when you have a spouse who won't support your dream or your business? Welcome back to my daily live stream. We go live every weekday here at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And this is the only live stream on the internet where you can learn how to get the twin win of succeeding in business while winning at home so that you can stop existing and start living. So today's topic speaks directly to the heart of that idea of succeeding in business while winning at home. My personal motto or credo that I live by is that no worldly success can compensate for failure in the home. So how do you balance those two things, or not balance, but how do you manage that when you have a spouse that you're trying to start a business, especially if you're a coach or a course creator, something along those lines, and you're trying to start a business, but you can't get your spouse on board, or they keep seeming to have negative words, thoughts, ideas that they're expressing? What do you do? Well, first of all, I'd like you to just take a step back. Let's just do a third party look, what I call third party look, as though you had no emotional interest or invested in this situation. You are a third party outside the house looking in. First of all, we have to recognize and realize your spouse loves you. And when we love somebody, we want the best for them. When we say we want the best for them, what that means is that we want to spare them from hurt feelings, physical pain, emotional pain, failures. You know, we do this as parents. We protect our children a little bit from those things because we love them. Now, we often recognize they need to experience those things in greater and greater degree for them to be able to go out on their own and live in society. But it's that idea that when you love somebody, when you love something, you want to protect it. Just like I love my bulldog and I want to protect her and I want the best for her. I want her to be happy and healthy and all of those things. So when they're negative about your ideas, a lot of times it's not because they don't believe in you. It's because they don't believe in your audience. That's really what they're saying. You know, it's not that they don't believe and support you, it's not that they don't think you're amazing. It's that they don't believe in your audience. They don't believe there's an audience there. They don't believe that people will respond, that maybe the people that you'll begin putting this out to, your friends and family, that they'll respond positively to your message. And so they want to protect you from that. So they might say some things that are negative. You have to recognize the human brain evolved to run to the negative. It just runs downhill naturally. And so the worst case scenario immediately crops up into their mind that, you know, they're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to make fun of you. They're going to hurt your feelings. And so I would rather maybe squash that dream a little bit than have you endure that. And it's that equation of what hurts worse, or, you know, would it hurt worse? Would there be more pain if everybody told you you were a failure, or would there be less pain if maybe I just said, you know what, how about we pull back on it? So you have to remember that. In one thing, that a lot of times these so-called negative words and emotions are coming from a place of love. So in that spirit of love, what I did was I created a framework for myself and for you. Now, I've been blessed with a Mindy. Everybody should have a Mindy. She's my wife, and she's been just nothing but supportive and a blessing in my life. But I recognize that a lot of you out there struggle with this. And so in an attempt to help you succeed in business and win at home with your spouse, I created a framework. And of course, the acronym is LOVE, love, right? Just like the old Nat King Cole song. So let's go ahead and start. L stands for listen actively. Listen actively. So listen to your spouse. Start by, and I've got my notes here for my framework, but start by actively listening to your spouse's concerns. Acknowledge those concerns and those feelings about your new venture, about your business, about what you're doing. Show empathy and understanding for their point of view. Make them feel heard and respected. That is the best way to diffuse a very touchy, very volatile, what could be a volatile situation, is to make them feel heard and respected. But also, L stands for listen to yourself. So listen actively to them and listen actively to yourself. Reflect on your own goals. Think about your passions and think about the reasons for pursuing your online course or your coaching business. Understanding your own motivations will help you communicate them effectively to your spouse. So by really digging down deep, you can really bring out that deep why and share that with your spouse. In fact, that should be the person that you share that with, the safest place for you to share that. And so that you need to listen and really get down to it, more than just money, more than just, because money is never a motivator that keeps us going. If it is, you're not going to succeed in business and win at home anyways. But if you're really passionate about something, you need to express that to your spouse. So that's L. O is open communication. So this kind of starts where the last one left off. So of communicating your feelings effectively. One, with open communication, express your vision. Clearly communicate your vision and your goals for your online course or coaching business to your spouse. Make sure they understand clearly what your vision and where you want to go, not just in the next month, in the next year, in the next, really explain to them where you want this to build out, where you see it going. Share your excitement and your passion. Excitement and passion is very contagious. And if you share that with your spouse, oftentimes they will get excited too, but be open to their feedback. So the greatest sounding board that I have is my spouse, Mindy. Like I said, everybody needs a Mindy. I'm going to say, that's my new saying, everybody needs a Mindy. Get yourself a Mindy if you don't have one. And help your spouse to become a Mindy if they're not one. Or your significant other. The idea is that I value her feedback very much. I use her as a sounding board. As I express my vision and as I share what I want to do and what the next steps are, she has great insight. Again, she does this where she takes a step back outside as though she's a third party looking in, taking a third party look. And she can see where maybe I've missed things. Maybe I'm a little too close to the project, a little too passionate, or where maybe I've missed things that, not that in a bad way, but in a good way, in the sense like, wow, this idea, you can actually go this way with it. You could go so much further than what your current vision is. And she expands my vision. So be open to their feedback. Next is part of open communication is to set boundaries. Discuss and agree on boundaries that work for both of you. So this includes the time and energy that you'll devote to your business and how it might affect your personal life. So you want to discuss this with them. In fact, I actually plan out my personal life first. Every week I plan out my personal life, my family life, all of those things, and then I stick in my business life. And I have certain times when I absolutely do no business, and those times are non-negotiable. So create with your spouse non-negotiable so that they know. Part of their fear is that if you're starting a new business, especially if you're working and this is like a side hustle, part of their fear is that they're going to miss you. They're going to miss out on time with you. So setting boundaries reassures them. It reassures them that they're going to get that time. Mindy knows she's going to get Josh time. My kids know they're going to get daddy time because I've made agreements with them that sets a boundary. So they know. So during work time, they don't come downstairs. My office is literally right here, right in the basement. They don't come downstairs. They could. There's no, they could run in here at any moment, but they don't because I honor their time. So they honor my time because we've set those boundaries. Even the youngest one, even the 3, almost 4-year-old understands that. So that's O. So listen actively, open communication. V is value your relationship. Value your relationship. So what do I mean by value your relationship? What I mean is, again, prioritize that quality time, what I just talked about. Prioritize your family time. Keep that number one. Make an effort to spend quality time with your spouse. Dedicate specific moments where you focus solely on each other. Like, Mindy and I just celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary, and we got away, so it was just us, just focusing on each other. And also so that you're free from business-related distractions. So after work, and especially on weekends, sometimes after work, I still talk about it a little bit with her, again, using her as a sounding board. But there are times that it's specifically that I don't talk about work, I don't think about work, I don't read about work, and I definitely don't do work. And so you need to set those boundaries so that you are free from business-related distractions and discussions with your spouse or with your significant other. You also need to show appreciation. So part of valuing the relationship is to show appreciation. Express gratitude for your spouse's support and understanding, even if it's very limited, even if it's just a small little bit of support, even if they're just barely coming around. Show your gratitude for that. Acknowledging their role in your life and your success will help them to want to give more of that support, more of that love. The more gratitude you express, the more you get back in return. So make sure that you're doing that as you value your relationship. So So again, we have listen actively. With I want to review again: listen actively, open communication, value your relationship. E, the final step in the framework here. E is empathy and compromise. Empathy and compromise. So you need to empathize with your spouse. This is that third party thinking that I talk about. Try to understand your spouse's concerns and fears about your new venture from their point of view. Everything that we've already talked about, their concern of losing time with you, their concern of maybe money, financial, whatever it might be. Put yourself in their shoes and then see things from their perspective. You need to really try to empathize with the way they're feeling so that you can then it's just like when you're marketing, right? When you empathize with your ideal client, you can provide a better service or a better product. It's the same with your spouse. If you empathize with them, you can provide better reassurances, better boundaries, better everything that we've already talked about, better communication, all of that, because you can see things from their point of view. You need to seek compromise. Seek compromise. Work together to find compromises that allow both of you, or both your business aspirations and your relationship to thrive, to succeed in business while winning at home. Be willing to adjust your plans if necessary to address your spouse's concerns. So this is something I struggled with when I was first started building a business. Was I felt like, well, this is the most important thing. This is what's going to support us. So you need to. Oh, I've been talking too long. There's my alarm. But I'm going to finish this. My concern, was that you need to bend to what I need so that I can make this work. And what I recognized was that I needed to be more flexible. And sometimes when you work, again, when you work from home, you just need to be flexible. There's times I've just sat down to start working, in the summertime, I've just sat down to start working, and one of my daughters cuts her knees on something and needs stitches. So I got to go to the hospital. Yeah, I'm going to go to the hospital. You say, well, you don't have to. Your wife? No, my wife's not going to go alone. Or sometimes my wife does have to go alone. That means somebody's got to be in charge of the rest of the kids. We can't just let them running around like a mini hurricane destroying the house. So the point is, be flexible, be more willing to flex that time and to understand that, sometimes things happen, especially when you work from home. And then you need to educate your spouse. So this is the last step in this part of empathy and compromise. You need to educate them. You need to if your spouse is skeptical about your online course or your coaching business, educate them about the industry, educate them about the potential, educate them about your plans for success. Knowledge dispels fear. Knowledge dispels fear. So if you can educate them about your potential and your goals and your business roadmap and all of those things, the more knowledge they have, the more at peace they can be. Remember that building a successful online course or a coaching business, it takes time and it takes dedication. Maintaining a healthy relationship with your spouse, it takes time and it takes dedication. So the love framework, LOVE, listen actively, and sorry, I'm just trying to get my notes in order here. Listen actively, open communication, value your relationship, and empathy and compromise. The love framework encourages open communication. It encourages empathy. It encourages compromise to foster a supportive environment where both your business and your relationship can flourish, where you can succeed in business while winning at home. That is the key, is to make sure that you are following these steps to help bring your spouse along and to help turn them from maybe a critic into a Mindy. Everyone needs a Mindy. Get yourself a Mindy. Make a Mindy out of your spouse. And remember, they love you. Okay, that's why they're concerned. They love you. It's just misguided in the way they're doing it. So the love framework will hopefully guide them back on track and guide you back on track so the two of you can move forward in a happy, healthy relationship. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Let me know what your thoughts are about the love framework, and maybe let me know what you feel might be a challenge for you to accomplish down below in the comments. And if you were joining me live, give me a hashtag live. If you're joining me on replay, give me a hashtag replay. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you guys later. Bye.